Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, so we are continuing our discussion from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 4. We are on chapter 20th. We are discussing the appearance of Lord Vishnu in the sacrificial arena of Prithu Maharaj. So I think we had completed till verse number 23rd, 29.
Yes, sir. 29 after 20.
Yeah. So in this section, we have heard Lord appeared in the sacrificial arena, and he was very pleased with the devotion of Prithu Maharaj, and he glorified Prithu Maharaj. He was so overwhelmed seeing the devotion of Prithu Maharaj that although Prithu Maharaj, he had already offered prayers and he had asked for wonderful benedictions, and Lord had to leave, but he could not leave. He stayed back because of the devotion of Prithu Maharaj, and so much so that he had to take support of Garudji. So that was the devotion of Prithu Maharaj. So we discussed till verse number 29. So in this section, Prithu Maharaj is offering prayers to the Lord. And in 29th verse, I'll just share the screen just a minute. Okay. So in the last verse, we heard how Prithu Maharaj, as he is offering prayers, he is having this Veer Bhava. And he is telling that I also want to serve the lotus feet of Lord, just like Lakshmi Devi. And he's telling, oh my Lord, if there is a disargument, if there is an argument between Lakshmi Devi and myself, I hope you will take my side. Because Lakshmi is such a great personality and I am such a insignificant person. So naturally you will take my side. So he is expressing Veer Bhakti. And then in 29th verse, he said, oh my Lord, all these great personalities who are liberated, they take part in your devotional service, because only by devotional service one can be freed from the illusion of this material world. Now, in 30th verse, expecting that Lord might say, then why do I ask my devotees to request benedictions? Because Prithu Maharaj said, your devotional service is the highest benediction. So in the 30th verse, I'll recite this 30th verse. Manye giram te jagatam vimohinim varam vrinishveti bhajantam vachanutantya yadite janosata katham puna karma karoti mohita. Translation.
My dear Lord, what you have said to your unalloyed devotee is certainly very much bewildering. The allurements you offer in the Vedas are certainly not suitable for pure devotees. People in general, bound by the sweet words of Vedas, engage themselves again and again in fruitive activities enamored by the results of their actions.
So he's saying, oh my Lord, actually, your words that you accept benediction, they are bewildering. They are your Giram. Manne, I consider that Giram te, your words, they are Jagatam Vimohinim. When you tell your devotees to accept benedictions, ask for a benediction, and the allurements you are giving in Vedas, they are all bewildering living entities. They are Vimohinim. They are Jagatam Vimohinim. All the words you are speaking, Giram te and Vachanutantya. Vachanutantya means the statements of the Vedas. So the statements of the Vedas and your statements, when you tell people, when you tell your devotees accept benedictions, they are bewildering because what are they doing? They are binding people in the karmic reaction. Katham punah karma karoti mohita. These people, they are bound by the sweet words of the Vedas and they engage themselves again and again in fruitive activities. Katham punah karma karoti. They again and again engage in fruitive activities and they are mohita, they are enamored. Therefore, he's saying, Prithu Maharaj is saying, please don't bewilder me. When you are saying that ask benedictions, they are bewildering. Please don't bewilder me by all these, different allurements you are mentioning. Just a minute. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, Narottam Das Thakur says, Karmakand, Jnanakand, Kevala Visher Bhand. All the rules and regulations of the karma kand and jnana, they are like pots of poison, visher bhand. Amrit boli jeba khai. If somebody thinks that they are nectar, what they do? Nana yorni sada fire. They go to various species of life and they may eat all the abominable things. Tadarya bhakshana kare, tara janma adha patyay. And as a result of this, they go to hellish situations of life. So Prabhupada writes, all this karma kand, jnana kand, and upasana kand, they are mentioned in the Vedas because Prithu Maharaj is talking about the Vedic prescriptions. So he's saying it is all useless. The suffering of material miseries are same for everyone. Everyone is suffering in this world. It is not that devatas are not suffering, they are also suffering. And when one starts cultivation of knowledge, that's also a waste of time. What's the use of cultivation of impersonal gyan? Whenever we hear in scriptures about the condemnation of knowledge, that is the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. There are three types of knowledge: Kaivalya Gyan, Atma Gyan, and Ishwar Gyan. Kaivalya Gyan means the knowledge of Brahman. Atma Gyan, knowledge of Atma. And Ishwar Gyan means knowledge of Bhagavan. What are we doing here is the knowledge of Bhagavan, Ishwar Gyan. So Prabhupada writes, the cultivation of knowledge to understand one's spiritual position also to a certain extent is waste of time. What's the use of understanding and going into this philosophical, analytical description of we are not this body, we are soul. Ultimately, we have to serve God. The living entity is part of the Lord and his immediate business is to engage himself in devotional service. So therefore, don't engage yourself in this cultivation of impersonal jnana or knowledge of the soul. Just engage in bhakti, because that is the ultimate reality. And therefore, Prithu Maharaj is saying all the allurements of material benedictions is just a trap. One becomes more and more engrossed in material life. But a devotee is not interested in bhakti or mukti. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sakali, ashant, Krishna bhakta, nishkama, ateva, shanta. Devotee is always peaceful. And the most intelligent devotee, he worships Krishna. Yajanti hi sumedhasaha. Prabhupada quotes Chaitanya Charitamrita. A sincere devotee who is not very intelligent may ask some material benedictions, but the Lord is omniscient, who does not generally give material rewards, but on the contrary takes away material benefits. कृष्ण कहे आमा भजे मागे विषय सुख अमृत छाड़े विष मागे ए बड़ा मूर्ख आमी विज्ञाई मूर्ख विषय के ना दिबा स्वचरणामृत दिया विषय भुलाइबा. So Krishna is saying, oh, worshipping you are worshipping me, my devotee is worshipping me and is asking for sense gratification. Mage Vishaya Sukh. Foolish personality. He is fool, but I am not fool. I will not give him sense gratification. I will give him my own lotus feet. Ami Vidyai Murtha Vishaya ke Nadiba. I will not give him sense gratification. What I'll do? I will give him the nectar of my lotus feet. And he'll forget all sense gratification. Bhagavatam also speaks the same verse. सत्यं दिशत्यर्थमर्थितो नृणां नैवार्थदो यत् पुनरर्थितां यतः स्वयं विधत्ते भजतामनिच्छताम् इच्छापिधानं निजपादपल्लवम्. If a devotee asks for material things, Krishna gives it in a way that the devotee will not ask for the same thing again. How he does that? Krishna gives himself to that devotee. Swayam vidhatte. All the devotee says, no, 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 I don't want you, my lord. I am only interested in material things. Krishna says, no, 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 I have to come with my benediction. And when Krishna comes in the life of a devotee, all other desires are fulfilled. Therefore, the statements of Vedas, which offer elevation to heavenly planets in exchange of great sacrifices. Oh, you do these sacrifices? Kriyate bahulaya sham. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kriyate bahulaya sham. They do in great endeavor. They go to heaven. But again they come down. What is the use of all this? Shine punya martya lokam shanti. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur writes, if an immature devotee asks some material benediction out of strong greed, he will be destroyed because he is cheated of bhakti rasa. He is cheated of this bhakti because Krishna will give this devotion, will give this material benediction. Typical words of the Vedas bewilder the world by promising elevation to Pitriloka or elevation to Swargaloka. All these are bewildering. They will go to Pitriloka, Swargaloka. Unless a person is bound by your words, how can he continue to do such acts? He is completely bewildered by the results again and again. Then Prithu Maharaj continues. He says, oh my lord, you have asked me for benedictions, but I don't know. In 31st verse, he says, you only give me whatever you think is best for me. That is the 31st verse. Another beautiful verse. We'll recite this verse. Tvanmaya yadha jana isha khandito
जन्माद्यस्य जनैः
yadanyadashastritatmano buddhaha
यदन्यदाशाश्चरितबुधः
यथा चरेद बालहितं पिता स्वयं
बालहितं
तथा
स्वयं
त्वमेवार्हसि न समीहितुम्.
तथा त्वमेवार्हसि न समीहितुम्.
My Lord, due to your illusory energy, all living beings in this material world have forgotten their real constitutional position. and out of ignorance, they are always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship, and love. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefits from you, but as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son, please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me.
So he says, Twan Maya Yadha Jana Ish Khandita. Because of your illusory energy, people, they are those who are ignorant living entities. Those who are ignorant, Twan Maya, by your illusory energy, these people in general, they have forgotten their relationship with you. Jana Ish Khandita. Khandita means they are separated from you. And Ritatvano Abudha, and they desire some other things. They don't have proper understanding, they are ignorant also. So they don't know what is good for them. But, oh my Lord, he gives an example. Just like father, Bal Hitam Pita Swayam. Just like a father, he does whatever is good for his son. Even the child may not even ask for it. Father does not wait for the child to ask. Father does the best for the child even without being asked. Tatha tvamevar hasina samihitum. Therefore, O my Lord, tatha tvam. Just like a father acts for the welfare of the child, you please give me what is best for me. Please don't wait for me to speak, because I don't know what is good for me. Prabhupada writes, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, he says, O my Lord, therefore, do not test your devotee with greed by offering him benedictions. Please don't test me, O my Lord. I am already so very greedy. Since all people desire something other than the proper thing, your worship, you should do what you think is good for us. People, they don't ask what is good for them. The best thing is your worship. So please, you do what is best for us, best for me. Please don't wait for me to ask. He says, Father knows what is beneficial or harmful for his son. He knows when the child should play, when he should study, and he and do what is best according to your opinion. You do what is best for me and don't wait for me to ask. You do not have to ask for my approval again. This shows the Prithu's trust in the Lord. That is a very important thing. We all should have that trust in the Lord. A living entity should have trust in the Lord. A devotee should have trust in the Lord, that the Lord will do what is best for me. Even though I may not be able to understand, but I know one thing. Whatever Lord does is best for me. Srila Prabhupada writes, it is duty of a son to depend on his father without asking anything from him. Good son has faith that the father knows best how to benefit him. Similarly, a pure devotee does not ask anything from the Lord for material benefit, nor does he ask for spiritual benefit. Ashlishva padratam pinashtumam adarshnan maramhatam garotuva yathathava vidhatu lampato mat prananastu natastu sayo naparaha. So for the Lord, for a devotee, he does not ask anything from the Lord, neither material nor spiritual benedictions. He is just satisfied serving the Lord. And Lord takes care of everything. The Lord satisfies the devotee. He takes all the efforts. Yes, Prabhu.
Guruji, in case of the pure devotees of the Lord, they always see the hand of the Lord in every activities of their activities. But in case of practicing sadhakas, when the things doesn't move as per their desire or things go against, and that time they will, they could not see that invisible hand of the Lord. Like they have a trust, they will not be lost the hope, but the helpless situations making them towards Krishna. So sometimes in sadhaka, how we can understand that whatever happening in sadhaka's life is the father who is providing to the son.
For that, scriptural understanding is must. For that, we need association of devotees who regularly guide us. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult to come to this conclusion. To see the hand of the Lord in every situation, it requires a very, very mature devotee. We see this in the 15th chapter of the first canto. When Arjun, he returned back from Dwarka, all the some cowherd men, they attacked him, they kidnapped the wives of Krishna, and Arjun is devastated. Tadvai dhanush taisha ratho hayaste, everything has become null and void. I am the same warrior, same horse, same chariot, same Gandiv, same bow, arrow. And then he is recounting all the various instances where Krishna helped him. And if we see in some of the situations, Krishna was not there directly present. Just like Arjun is recalling how they were saved from Lakshagraha. Krishna was not there directly. How they were saved in the forest of man-eating demons. Krishna was not there directly. In so many cases, Krishna was not there directly. But Arjun could see everything as the protection of the Lord, as the plan of the Lord. So in sadhaka stage, we may not be able to see directly the hand of the Lord spontaneously. It will not come automatically for us. But we have to pray for it. We have to intensely endeavor for that vision. Unless we pray for this vision, we will not get this. To see the hand of Lord in every situation of life, that requires a very, very mature devotee. And it comes by sincere prayers and regular practice. We have to practice seeing this. We have to use our brains to understand how this is Krishna working in my life. What Krishna wants to teach me through this episode. So it is a endeavor. Unless it comes automatically, we have to consciously endeavor for it. And then in due course of time, it will become automatic. It will come spontaneously for a sadhaka. But currently, we have to endeavor for it. We have to work for it. We have to pray to the Lord. Okay, bro. That's what I can think of. So Prabhupada writes, a pure devotee does not ask anything from the Lord, neither material nor spiritual. He is always surrendered, and therefore Lord protects him. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. He supplies everything because he knows what is needed to whom or who needs what. And therefore, the Lord who is complete, he never forgets the living entities. It is we who forget the Lord. Even while staying in this devotee community, we may forget the Lord. We may not be able to remember what Lord has done for us. So it is our responsibility to remember what the Lord has done for us. At every moment, what He is doing for us. Prabhupada writes, the difficulty is that due to forgetfulness, the living entities create unnecessary demands and entangle themselves in material activities. The result is that there is no end to material activities, life after life. So Prithu Maharaj, he is telling the Lord, I don't want anything, oh my Lord. And Prabhupada writes, this is the perfect position of a devotee. Na dharam, na janam, na sundarim. A devotee does not want anything. He does not want material benefit, and at the same time, he does not want spiritual benefit. Salokya, sarishti, samipya, sarupya, ekattam, apyuta, dhiyamanam, nagrinanti, vinamasevanam jana. No material benedictions. If there is some material benediction, that is to serve the Lord. That's it. Okay. So that's how Prithu Maharaj, he concludes his prayers. And from 32 to 38 verses, now, Lord, he offers benedictions to Prithu Maharaj and then he departs. So in 32 verse, Maitreya Muni, he continues the discussion. Ityadi rajena natu nutar sad vishwadrik tamaharajan mai bhaktirastute dishte drishi dhir mai te kritayaya maya madiyam taratyasma dustejam. Translation.
Great sage Maitreya continued by saying that the Lord, the seer of the universe, after hearing Prithu Maharaj's prayer, addressed the king, my dear king, may you always be blessed by engaging in my devotional service. Only by such purity of purpose, as you yourself very intelligently express, can one cross over the insurmountable, illusory energy of Maya.
So as Prithu Maharaj said, please don't tempt me, oh my Lord, just like Prahlad Maharaj told Narsingh Dev, oh my Lord, please don't tempt me. I am by nature a demon. Somehow I have developed this intelligence. Please don't tempt me by all these benedictions. So Prithu Maharaj is also telling, don't tempt me, my Lord. And now he is saying, now the Lord, he is responding. His Lord said, first thing is, may you always be blessed by engaging in devotional service. He says, Drishte drishidhe mai te kritayaya. Mai, by good fortune, may you always have good intelligence and devotion unto me. Mai bhakti rastute. Tamaha Rajan, Lord said, Mai bhaktir astute. Let all good fortune unto be me. And Dishte drishi dhira mai te krita. Dishtya means by some good fortune. By some good fortune, dhir mai te kritayaya. You have performed such a wonderful activity and of devotional service. May you be blessed always. And Maya madiyam taratyasma dustyajam. Only by such purity of purpose, of bhakti, tarati sma dustyajam. One can cross over the insurmountable illusory energy of Maya. That is how a devotee, that's Lord is himself saying, by this practice of devotional service, because you are engaged in my devotional service, naturally you will cross over the insurmountable illusory energy, which is so very difficult to cross. Mama Maya Duratyaya. But Mameva ye prapadyante. Anyone who surrenders to me, they cross over. So Prabhupada writes, if one wants to cross over the ocean of material existence, there is no alternative than to take devotional service. Only by bhakti one can transcend. Nothing else can help a devotee transcend this ocean of material existence. And therefore, a devotee does not care wherever he is, because wherever he is, he will practice bhakti only. A pure devotee should always engage in the service of the Lord, for that is his real occupation. Simply by sticking to that position, one can overcome the stringent laws of material nature. So as Lord is saying, only by such purity of purpose one can cross over. So when one is pure in his practice of devotional service, one naturally crosses over this illusory energy. So the Lord, He is speaking what is most beneficial, that is devotional service. Nothing else is as beneficial as devotional service. Nahi ato anya shiva pantha vishatah samsrita viha vasudeve bhagavati bhakti yogo yato bhavet. There is nothing more beneficial than the practice of devotional service. Bhakti is shubhada. Bhakti is all auspicious. Bhakti is sarva jagatam anuraktata, attracts everyone. Bhakti is prinanam, he is sukha pradatvam. Bhakti is sadgunadi pradatvam. Sadgunadi pradatvam means manifests all the good qualities. And bhakti is sukha pradatvam. Sukha pradatvam means gives unlimited bliss. You know, these are the four characteristics of Shubhada. How bhakti is all auspicious. So, Maitreya Muni, he is continuing that how Lord said, Lord gave benedictions, may you always have pure devotion unto me, and by my mercy, you will cross this ocean of material illusion. Tattvam kuru mayadishtam apramatta prajapate madadesha karo loka sarvatra apnoti shobhanam. Translation.
My dear king, O protector of the citizens, henceforward be very careful to execute my orders and not be misled by anything. Anyone who lives in that way, simply carrying out my orders faithfully, will always find good fortune all over the world.
Lord is saying, Tat tvam kuru maya adishtam. O king, now follow the instructions I have given you, apramattaha, without being misguided. Whatever I have told you, please execute it. And you know what will happen? If you do this, anyone who lives in this way, madadesha karo lokaha, anyone who lives in this way, that means anyone who lives by carrying my orders faithfully, sarvatra apnoti shobhanam. All the good fortune is there on that person. That is the result of following the instructions of Supreme Lord. Sarvatra apnoti shobhanam. All auspiciousness comes in the life of our devotee. By executing the orders of the Lord, one naturally achieves perfection. As it comes in the first canto, when 10th chapter, when Krishna enters Dwarka, all the residents of Dwarka, they are offering prayers. 11th chapter. And one of the prayer they offer is Bhavaya Nasvam Bhava Vishwa Bhavan Tvameva Mata Suretpatim Pita Tvam Sadguruna Paramam Chadaivatam Yasya Anuvritya Kritino Bhuvima. Yasya Anuvritya. By following your instructions, by following your footsteps, there is all perfection for everyone. So that's what Lord is saying. If you follow my words, you will become fortunate. And if you don't follow, they'll be destroyed. Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita also. He said, Arjun, if you follow, you'll become victorious. And if you reject, what is that? Na shroshashi vinankshasi. Atha chetvam ahankaran na shroshyasi vinangshasi. How does it start? Na shroshyasi. Yes, Krishna says, Machitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. By my mercy, if you are putting all your consciousness and thoughts on me, Machitta sarva durgani, you will pass over all the obstacles by mat prasadat. By my mercy, you will cross over. Tarishyasi, but athache tvam ahankaran, if out of your pride, you don't follow whatever I say. Nashroshyasi, nahi sunoge. What will be the result? Vinankshasi, you will be destroyed. Just like there are many examples of people who didn't follow the Lord and they were destroyed. It's like Prithu Maharaj. It's like Satrajit. Satrajit, he heard, but he didn't follow. Satrajit was told that you give this Shamantak jewel to Krishna, to Ugrasen. Krishna himself told that the jewel belongs to the king. Please give this jewel to King Ugrasena. He didn't listen. And the result was he was destroyed. Veda didn't listen to the instructions of the Brahmanas. He was destroyed. Even this Karna, he was instructed by the Lord himself. Lord went. Lord told that just come on the side of Pandavas. Yudhishthir will make you the king. If he comes to know that you are the eldest of all the Pandavas, he'll make you king. Karna didn't listen. Ravan didn't listen. So Nashroshasi Vinamshasi. This is a common factor. If we don't follow the instructions of spiritual master, if we don't follow the instructions of Krishna, we will be destroyed for sure. Prabhupada writes in the purport, the sum and substance of religious life is to execute the orders of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one who does so is perfectly religious. So what is religion means? Religion means to follow the orders of the Supreme Personality. And what is the topmost pinnacle order? The crest jewel instruction of the Lord is surrender everything to me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Sarva dharman parityajya, and before that, manmana bhav bhakti. These are the crest jewel instructions of Krishna. Prabhupada writes, this is the primary principle of religion. Anyone who directly executes such an order from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually a religious person. Others who are described as pretenders, for there are so many activities going on throughout the world in the name of religion which are not actually religious, because they are not following the instructions of the Supreme Lord as it is. But anyone who follows the order, all auspiciousness comes in the life of that devotee. There can be nothing inauspicious for a devotee. Devotee's life is always auspicious. Whatever apparent inauspiciousness which comes in the life of a devotee, that is auspicious for a devotee. Because Mahavipattau samsare yasmaret madhusudana vipattau tasya sampatti bhavet ityaha shankara. Lord is telling to Parvati that in the most difficult situations, Mahavipattau samsare yasmaret madhusudana, one who remembers Krishna, that vipatti becomes his sampatti. So it is our responsibility to make the vipatti as sampatti. Our responsibility to see that people, they actually come to religious platform. Don't become pretenders, as Prabhupada writes here. Others are described as pretenders. So Srila Prabhupada writes, one who executes the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, there is only good fortune throughout the world. Srila Prabhupada would always say that there is only one thing which is lacking in this world, that is Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada, he would always say that, a few times he said, if I get 18 able men, we can make the whole world Krishna conscious. And the devotees actually believed it. And they had intense faith in the Lord, in the words of Prabhupada. And they would plan, they would say, Prabhupada, after winning over the world, what we'll do? We'll make you the king. Prabhupada would say, no, I'll not become the king. I'll become the master guru of the king. So devotees had that faith. For them, the Srila Prabhupada disciples, they tell that for them it was like reality. Why? होने ही वाला है ना? We are going to win over the world. That was the conviction of the disciples of Prabhupada. Because Srila Prabhupada had that conviction. And his conviction comes from the scriptures. Mahaprabhu had said, my words will be spread in every town and village. It has to happen. And this is the only thing which can bring auspiciousness. Yasya akhilamiva havi sumangalai vacho vimishra gunakarma janmabhi prananti shumbhanti punanti vai jagat yastad virakta shavashobha namati. Just a minute. I have to just put my laptop to charge. Just a minute. Okay, so that's how Srila Prabhupada is describing. For one who executes the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is only good fortune throughout the world. Because a devotee sees the hand of Lord in every situation of life. Therefore, for him, everything is always auspicious. Lord continues. Now Maitreya Muni continues. So in this way, Lord appreciated the prayers of Prithu Maharaj. Maitreya uvacha iti vainyasya rajarshe pratinandyarthavadvachaha pujito anugrihitvainam gantum chakrechuto matim. Translation, please.
The great saint Maitreya told Vidura, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, amply appreciated the meaningful prayers of Maharaj. Thus, after being properly worshipped by the king, the Lord blessed him and decided to depart. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So the King Prithu worshipped the Lord. Pujito anugrihitva. So Prithu Maharaj worshipped the Lord, and Lord sufficiently benedicted Prithu Maharaj. He benedicted by giving him darshan, by speaking beautiful words, and then he departed. Gantum, he went to his abode. He decided to depart. Achyutomatim, when he saw his mind, when he saw that this Prithu Maharaj is very nicely worshipping the Lord, worshipping me, and offering such wonderful prayers, he decided to depart. So Prabhupada focuses on this word, pratinandya arthavad vachaha. Pratinandya arthavad means Lord appreciated the meaningful prayers of the king. When a devotee prays to the Lord, it is not to ask for material benefits, but to ask for his favor. And what type of favor? For spiritual benedictions. He prays that he may be engaged in service of the Lord birth after the birth. Mama Janmani Janmanishware. The devotee is not interested in taking birth anywhere, provided he becomes a devotee. Kita janma hao yadi tuadasa bahirmukha brahma nahi moro asha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that I am ready to become a worm. if I am a devotee. But I don't want to become Brahma if Brahma is not a devotee. That does not mean that, अरे ब्रह्मा भी नॉन डिवोटी होते हैं क्या? No, it is not like that. Brahma is always a devotee. But it is a way to speak. It is called as क्या बोलते हैं उसको? व्याज स्तुति. व्याज स्तुति means it is the indirect way of saying, अरे बाबा मुझे डिवोटी ही बनना है. It's like, anyone remembers any other vyaj stuti, the indirect glorification? Anywhere else we have heard vyaj stuti. That means something else is spoken, but something else is meant. Something is spoken, something else is meant.
हरे कृष्णा वो बोलते हैं ना भगवान श्री कृष्ण को देखने के लिए यमुना के पास मत जाइए, वहां नहीं जाना चाहिए. हरि बोल. हरे कृष्ण.
Don't go to the bank of Keshi Ghat and take darshan of Govinda, who is standing in threefold bending form. Smeram bhangi traya parichitam shachi vishtirna drishtim vyamshinyastya kishalayam ujjvala chandrakena गोविंदाख्यम हरितनुमिता केशितीर्थोपकंठे मा प्रेक्षिष्टस्तव यदि सखे बंधु संगे स्थिरंगः. If you want to stay in association of your relatives and friends, don't go. Ma prekshishtas, don't see. If you want association of your friends, don't see. That means he's saying, oh fool, rascal, go and take darshan of Lord at Keshigat. That's the only benediction. So therefore, the Lord, the devotee of the Lord, he is asking only for material, only for spiritual benedictions, or nothing else. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti ahetuki. Only I want only devotional service. And if Brahma is non-devotee, I don't want to become Brahma. Brahma will never become non-devotee. But even if Brahma becomes non-devotee, I don't want to become Brahma. It's just like बोलते हैं ना, अरे सूर्य पश्चिम से उदय हो सकता है लेकिन ये तो हमेशा अपना काम टाइम पे करते हैं. That does not mean that the sun can rise from west. That is a way to emphasize something. That is an indirect way of speaking that he is so very strict in his words. So devotee is only interested in service. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti ahetuki tvai. The Lord and the devotee appears in material world birth after birth, but such births are transcendental. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani nattam vittha parantapa. Prabhupada is quoting that. Arjuna asked Krishna, Krishna, आप बोल रहे हो कि आपने विवस्वान को सुनाया, but you are me are of same age. How is it possible that you spoke to Vivaswan? Lord says, you both of us have taken birth many times. You don't remember. I remember everything. Prabhupada writes, the Lord and his confidential devotees, they appear many times to fulfill the Lord's mission. But since such births are transcendental, they are not accompanied by miserable conditions of material birth. They are transcendental, Divya. Indirectly, Prabhupada is talking about himself also in one sense. Whatever Prabhupada went through, somebody may say Prabhupada went through lots of struggles in his life. So many difficult situations. He was alone. But for Prabhupada, he was never alone. He would always say, I am never alone. My spiritual master is always there with me. Because the birth of a great devotee and birth of the Supreme Lord, they are both transcendental. One should not judge a pure devotee based on his material conditions. As it is described, Arche Vishnu Shiladhi Gurushu Narmati Vaishnave Jati Buddhi Naraki Sa. And in that verse, Prabhupada would quote this line often. But there are a few words in that also. This verse says, Hari Namni Lubdhake Matram. That means, let me find out. Nice, it is the full verse is wonderful. Anyways, I'm not getting that. So the word used there was, the next verse says, three things are mentioned. Arche Vishnu, if somebody thinks the deity of the Lord to be ordinary stone. If somebody thinks the guru to be ordinary human being. And if somebody thinks, oh, this Vaishnava is from this caste or that caste. And if somebody thinks that the names of the Lord, ordinary alphabets put together, na? Krishna, ordinary alphabet. No. Narakisa. This buddhi is hellish buddhi. If somebody thinks, oh, it's an ordinary name, hai. Not an ordinary name. The birth and the pastimes of the Lord and the devotees of the Lord, they are always transcendental. And therefore, Prabhupada writes about the purpose of avatar of the Lord and his devotee to spread devotional service, to spread bhakti. Prithu Maharaj was an incarnation of the Palana Shakti. He appeared to spread bhakti, and the Lord has blessed him to remain fixed in bhakti. So therefore, when king refused to accept material benedictions, the Lord appreciated. You know, the Lord will always test us. He will test every devotee will be tested. Anyone knows any situations where the Lord tested his devotees? In many places, Lord has tested his devotees in Bhagavatam. Yes, any examples? Anybody remembers?
Arjuna, Gajendra.
Then how Gajendra was tested?
Gajendra was trying to take the help of his fellow family, or he was taking alternative shelters. Ultimately, when he realized that nothing can help him, then he was remembering his past life and was praying to Lord.
No. When Lord directly tested, मतलब ये इस प्रकार के टेस्ट तो मतलब ये तो
Prahlad Maharaj.
What was the test?
To see the conviction that Prahlad Maharaj was going through a lot of troubles. His own family member, his own father is a demon, putting into all troubles.
Okay, ठीक है. Or any other situation, any other example?
Kunti Maharani.
These are the difficult situations which has come in the life of devotees. Any examples where Lord has personally tested his devotee by giving some benedictions, chalo, or by some other means, direct test?
Sudama.
Okay, Sudama, ठीक है, सामने से नहीं दिए. Okay, और
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. In case of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada only said that Krishna tested me twice.
Yes.
First by removing everything from my life, and second by giving everything.
Okay. Yes. We see one classic example is Arjun was tested by Krishna in the beginning of Bhagavatam, 7th chapter. Ashwatthama is caught. सब लोग बोल रहे हैं पहले मारो मारो. Krishna is also saying kill him. And then Draupadi gives a nice talk. Dharmam Nyayam Sakarunam Nirvelikam Samam Mat maro. He's a Brahmana son. You are a Kshatriya. You have to protect Brahmana, all that. Oh, yes. We should not kill. Yudhishthira said you should not kill. Krishna now changed his opinion. He said you should not kill. And then Krishna said you have to fulfill the desires of Bhima, who was saying kill. The word used there was, it comes in 1:740. Now, nice verse. 1:740. 40. एवं परीक्षता, क्या किया? परीक्षा लिए हैं. What परीक्षा? परीक्षता धर्म, in the matter of duty. There, Chakravarti Thakur writes a very wonderful purport. He says, the Lord Krishna's nature is that, although he is omniscient, he knows that my devotees are such wonderful devotees, sincere devotees, still he tests them. सब जानते हुए फिर भी टेस्ट करते हैं. तो Lord wants to show the world, देखो ये मेरे devotee इतने अच्छे हैं. I know their greatness. How the world will know their greatness? I will test them. Because Lord is expert in glorifying his devotees. One of the quality of the Lord is Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. He is the abode of all beauty. And the most beautiful aspect of the Lord is he gives all the glorification to his devotees. He glorifies, he likes to glorify his devotees. And there he says, Lord tested gopis also. How Lord tested gopis?
हरि
Gopis
बोले, हरे
came.
कृष्णा.
हाँ, yes.
हाँ, यस 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 प्रभु, वही एग्जांपल बोलने वाले थे कि बांसुरी भगवान ने बजाई और गोपियों को बुलाया और फिर उनको बोला कि अभी आप कैसे आए, मतलब वो एग्जांपल, और फिर बोले कि आप जाओ घर पे जाओ, रिटर्न जाओ, लेकिन गोपियां बोली कि नहीं
Yes.
जाएंगे. हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम.
And then यहाँ पे Chakravarti Thakur writes, he also tested Prithu Maharaj. He also tested Prahlad Maharaj. How he tested Prithu Maharaj? Ask benedictions. Varam cha mat kanchana manavendra. Vrinishvateham gunashila yantrita. Ask benediction. That is a test. Lord is testing. कि भाई इससे मान जाएगा क्या? Will he take this material benediction? Lord tested Prahlad also. Ask benedictions, O Prahlad. It is my pastime to fulfill the desires. I like to give benedictions to my devotees. Ask benedictions. But Prahlad said, oh my Lord, I am not a merchant. Vanik. Acharya says that, so far Narsingh Dev was angry. Now Prahlad Maharaj is becoming a little angry. Why are you tempting me, my Lord? I am not going to take any material benediction. Therefore, Lord says, Diyamanam na grihnanti. Although I offer these benedictions, नहीं लेते हैं, devotees लेते ही नहीं है. So, Lord will test all of us. One devotee was telling, मैं तो वेट कर रहा हूँ कब लॉर्ड मेरे को टेस्ट करेंगे. मेरे को टेस्ट ही नहीं करते हैं लॉर्ड. Because the Lord knows. Because Lord knows our heart. He is omniscient. He knows. इसको बोलूंगा तो ये तब ले लेगा. The Lord wants to glorify his devotees. Therefore, he tests them. And similarly, the Siddhas also test his devotees. Anyone remembers where all Shukdev Goswami tested Prithu Maharaj? Parikshit Maharaj? Yes, anyone remembers? In Bhagavatam, Shukdev Goswami tested Parikshit Maharaj 3 times.
He summarized Krishna's Leela in very short. So Parikshit Maharaj became very inquisitive and asked him to elaborate in details.
Yes, that was first. That was second actually. What was the first time? First time was in 6th canto. When all the hellish planets are described in the 5th canto end. And Shukdev Goswami says, Parikshit Maharaj says, what is that? Adhuneha Mahabhaga. Oh, greatly opulent one, fortunate one. How will these people be liberated? Shukdev Goswami says, Prashit kar lenge na. Atonement. So Parikshit Maharaj says, ये तो मन्य कुंजर शौचवत है. It is like elephant bathing. Then Shukdev Goswami says, okay, Gyan Marg. So the Venu Gulma Minala. The roots are still intact. Then he says, Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agham dhunvanti karsnena niha ramyava bhaskara. He tested the Siddhant, Parikshit Maharaj's Siddhantic understanding. Have we understood philosophy of bhakti? या कुछ भी चलेगा, ये भी कर लो, वो भी कर लो, भक्ति भी कर लो. Just like people ask questions about Shraddha. Should we do Shraddha or not? Have we understood the philosophy? Siddhanta will be tested. Second time he tested the eagerness by summarizing Krishna's pastimes in 2 verses. I'll show you those 2 verses. Shukdev Goswami is expert in summarizing. Sometimes devotees they summarize. How Shukdev Goswami amazingly summarized everything in 2 verses. It is amazing to see how such 90 chapters can be summarized in 2 verses. Somebody can read this?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, known as Leela Purushottama, appeared as a son of Vasudeva, but immediately left his father's home and went to Vrindavana to expand his loving relationships with his confidential devotees. In Vrindavana, the Lord killed many demons and afterwards he returned to Dwaraka, where, according to Vedic principles, he married many wives who were the best of women, begot through them hundreds of sons, and performed sacrifices for his own worship to establish the principles of householder life.
देखिए पूरा वृंदावन लीला, द्वारका लीला एक श्लोक में खत्म. Next.
Thereafter, Lord Sri Krishna created a misunderstanding between the family members just to diminish the burden of the world, simply by his glance. He annihilated all the demonic kings on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and declared victory for Arjuna. Finally, he instructed Uddhava about transcendental life and devotion, then returned to his abode in his original form.
जय हो कृष्ण भगवान की जय. देखिए, that is how amazing. And Parikshit Maharaj is surprised. You elaborated all the other avatars in big way and 2 श्लोक में खत्म. Nivritta Tarshai Rupagiyamana, I am not satisfied. Keep on speaking. Don't think I am troubled by hunger, thirst, and all that. He is testing the eagerness. And what was the third thing? Third time he tested at the end of भागवतम. मतलब जाते जाते भी टेस्ट लेके गए हैं. ऐसा ही नहीं छोड़ दिया अभी, हाँ समझ गया डिसाइपल अपना है, समझदार है. नो, he glorified ज्ञान in the end, not bhakti. He tested the steadiness of Parikshit Maharaj in the practice of bhakti. So that's how the tests will come.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, वो 2 वर्सेस का नंबर क्या था?
10 नहीं 929 924 एक मिनट 924 65 and 66 I think. 66 and 67. Yes, 924 66 67. Okay, so we'll continue from Prithu Maharaj's episode. So in this way, the Lord, he decided to depart. Prabhupada focuses on Pratinandya Vachaha, Pratinandya Arthavad Vachaha, appreciated the meaningful prayers of Prithu Maharaj. And Prabhupada focuses on the transcendental birth, how Lord and Lord's incarnations, they appear to establish principle of dharma. Okay, now 35th and 36th. Translation, please.
King Prithu worshipped the demigods, the great sages, inhabitants of Pitra Loka, inhabitants of Gandharva Loka, and those of Siddha Loka, Charan Loka, Panago Loka, Kinnar Loka, Apsara Loka, the earthly planets and the planets of the birds. He also worshipped many other living entities who presented themselves in the sacrificial arena. With folded hands, he worshipped all these, as well as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the personal associates of the Lord. By offering sweet words and as much wealth as possible, after this function, they all went back to their respective abodes, following in the footsteps of Lord Vishnu.
Okay. So now, after the Lord left, all the great personalities were there. The Lord Prithu Maharaj worshipped them also. He presented them nice gifts. And then everybody, they left. They went to their respective abodes. So Prabhupada in this purport focuses how people in all the great sages of the past, they knew the art of traveling to the other planetary systems. Prabhupada focuses on this. The Vedas give information that in all planets, there are varieties of living entities. Although all the living entities are of spiritual nature, in quality they are same as the Lord, that is Satchit Ananda. In spiritual world, therefore, there is no difference in the body and the embodied. The Atma and the body of the person is the same. There is no difference. So Prabhupada is basically describing how the scriptures, they give detailed information of the spiritual worlds and the material planetary systems, how in the spiritual world there are variegatedness, and in material world there are 14 planetary systems, all that. Spiritual world there is 5 rasa, then Swakiya and Parakiya and all that Prabhupada writes. Bhagavan api rajarshe sopadhyayasya chachutah haranniva manoimushya swadhama pratyapadyata. Translation.
The infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, having captivated the minds of the king and the priests who were present, returned to his abode in the spiritual sky.
After this, the Lord returned to his abode, and Prabhupada emphasizes on one word, Achyuta. Sopadhyayasya Achyutah. Achyuta means the infallible Lord. Why the Lord is infallible? He never fails in protecting his devotees. Prabhupada writes, a living entity falls down from to the material world, therefore he has to accept a material body. He is not Achyuta. He falls down from the real engagement in service of the Lord, therefore he gets a material body, so he is called as Chuta. Chuta means fallen. Lord is Achyuta. Next verse. Adrishtaya namaskritya nripa sandarshitatmane avyaktaya cha devanam devaya swapuram yayau.
King Prithu then offered his respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Supreme Lord of all demigods. Although not an object of material vision, the Lord revealed himself to the sight of Maharaja Prithu. After offering obeisances to the Lord, the king returned to his home.
Lord is Adhokshaja. So the word used is Adrishtaya. Adrishtaya means who cannot be seen by material vision. That's why he's also called as Adhokshaja, one who cannot be perceived by material eyes. Adha Akshaja. Akshaja means one who can be seen by the eyes. Adhokshaja, one who cannot be seen. But the Lord, he was so overwhelmed by the devotion of Prithu Maharaj, he sandarshitatmane, he revealed himself. He revealed himself to Prithu Maharaj and showered so much affection, and then ultimately returned home, returned to his abode. That was the end of this chapter. Now, next chapter, another interesting chapter where Prithu Maharaj is going to instruct his kingdom and citizens. So now Prithu Maharaj, as he is returning after performing this great sacrifice, all the citizens, they welcome Prithu Maharaj. So 1 to 7 verses describes the decoration of the kingdom of Prithu Maharaj. What all decorations were happening there? Maitreya Uvacha Moktikai Kusumai Sragbi Dupulai Swarna Toranai Mahasurabhir Dhupai Manditam Tatra Tatravai. Translation.
The great sage Maitreya told Vidura, when the king entered his city, it was very beautifully decorated to receive him with pearls, flower garlands, beautiful clothes, and golden gates. And the entire city was perfumed with highly fragrant incense.
In the Vedic life, Vedic civilization, all the decoration was natural. You know, when we decorate things naturally, they enliven our minds. But nowadays, the decorations are most of the time artificial. And even the flowers which are used are artificial. So artificial things, they don't make a person happy as much as they make, as much as the natural things. So Vedic life was always meant to elevate oneself, you know, spiritually and enliven oneself. That's why all these decorations were done. You know, we hear in scriptures, any festival, there was a decoration. An entire city was decorated. Prabhupada writes, real opulence is supplied by natural gifts such as gold, silver, pearls, valuable stones, fresh flowers, trees, and silken cloth. Vedic civilization recommends opulence and decoration of these natural gifts. Such opulence immediately changes the condition of mind. An entire atmosphere becomes spiritualized. The mind likes to see wonderful things and natural things. That's why when we go in nature, we feel peaceful. We feel very, you know, enlivened and uplifted because that is a nature. That's how the mind feels uplifted. And that's why in the Vedic times, the decorations were very, very common. Any small occasion, decorations were there. Okay. Next verse. Translation, please.
Fragrant water distilled from sandalwood and agru herb was sprinkled everywhere on the lanes, roads, and small parks throughout the city. And everywhere were decorations of unbroken fruits, flowers, wetted grains, varied minerals, and lamps, all present as auspicious paraphernalia.
Next.
At the street crossings, there were bunches of fruits and flowers, as well as pillars of banana trees and betel nut branches. All these combined decorations everywhere looked very attractive.
Next.
As the king entered the gate of city, all the citizens received him with many auspicious articles like lamps, flowers, and yogurts. The king are also received by many beautiful unmarried girls whose bodies were bedecked with various ornaments, especially with earrings which collided with one another.
So that's how all the natural products were used to welcome Prithu Maharaj. Prabhupada writes, offering of natural products like betel nuts, banana, newly grown wheat, paddy, yogurt, vermilion, and are all auspicious paraphernalia for receiving prominent guests like bridegroom, king, and spiritual master. So these are the natural things. Whenever some big guest comes, all these things are offered. Similarly, when the small young girls, they dance, they welcome, it creates a very auspicious atmosphere. The Prabhupada writes. Kumaris. Who are these Kumaris? They are untouched by the hand of any member of opposite sex. They are auspicious. So that was the criteria of Vedic society. They create auspiciousness when they are pure. Even today, Prabhupada writes, in Hindu society, the most conservative families do not allow unmarried girls to go out freely and mix with the boys. They are very carefully protected by their parents while unmarried. And after marriage, they are protected by husbands. When elderly, they are protected by children. When thus protected, women as a class remain an always auspicious source of energy to man. So that is the power of purity. When one is pure, they are auspicious and they create auspiciousness in the society. Now, king is entering the city. Shankadundubi Ghoshena, Brahma Ghoshena Chartujam, Vivesha Bhavanam Veera, Stuyamano Gatasmayaha.
When the king entered the palace, the conch shells, the kettle drums were sounded. Priests chanted Vedic mantras and professional reciters offered different prayers. But in spite of all this ceremony to welcome him, the king was not the least bit affected.
Okay. The king, he was not so much affected by all this welcome. Anybody would be, very much happy and overwhelmed seeing such great affection, great welcome. King was equipoised. That is a symptom of a great personality. He is not affected by praise or insult. There is a saying, Namanti falino vriksha, namanti gunino jana, shushk kasht murkhascha na namanti kadachana. Now, a very nice subhashit. Namanti falino vriksha. When a branch of a tree is laden with fruits, the branch bows down. Namanti gunino jana. A person who has good qualities naturally bows down. He is naturally humble, naturally respects others. But foolish people, they are like dry logs of wood. Shushk kashthascha murkhascha. Just like the dry wood never bends, a foolish person never bends. He is proud of his foolishness. As another Subhashit says, Vidya vinayena shobhate. A person who is knowledgeable, he is naturally humble. Somebody is not humble, his knowledge is not a ornament for him. Just like Roma Harshan Sutta, Visher Bhagavato Bhutva Shishyo Adhitya Bahuni Cha Te Itihas Puranani Dharma Shastrani Chanyata. Balramji says, oh, you are the disciple of Vyasdev, Visher Bhagavato Bhutva Shishya, and you are learned in all the scriptures. This personality is learned in all the scriptures, Puran, Itihas, Dharma Shastra. But the problem is, Adantasya, Avinitasya. He is not controlled in his mind and senses, and he is not humble. He is Vritha Pandit Manina. He is vainly considering himself to be a great learned scholar. But all his qualities are a show, dramatic show of an actor. So a person is naturally humble. He is never affected by all these praise or insult. Just like when Rupa Sanatana Goswami, who are such great learned scholars and at the same time such great devotees, they express themselves as fallen, मूर्ख नीच जाति नीच संगी कोरी नीच काज तोमार अग्रते प्रभु कहते वसिलाज. Oh, we are ashamed to stand in front of you. Malech jati, malech sevi kari, malech sangha. Oh, we are associating with malechas and yavanas. Still we ask for your mercy. Vaman aiche chand dharite chahe kore, taiche ye mancha more uthaye antare. Just like a dwarf wants to touch the sky, moon, we want your mercy, O my Lord. And this mercy, this humility attracted Mahaprabhu's heart. And later, when Mahaprabhu reached Jagannath Puri, he told his associates, I met these two brothers, Dui Bhai Bhaktaraj Krishna Kripa Patra, Vyavahare Rajamantri Hoye Rajapatra. I met these two brothers, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. They are Rajapatra, they are government officials, Rajamantri, but they are so humble. They are expert in Vidya, Buddhi, Bhakti, Bale, Parama, Praveen, Tabu apana ke mane, Trina, Hoitehin. They are so humble, although they are so learned, they are so powerful. Vidya, knowledgeable. Buddhi, intelligent. Bhakti, such a great devotee. Tabu apana ke mane, Trina, Hoitehin. They consider themselves lower than blade of grass. So that is how a great learned scholar or a great devotee is naturally humble. He's never affected. Pride is like a great venom. One should be very, very careful. If we are proud of our achievements and accomplishments, then all our devotion will be a show. Just like Rup Kaviraj, when he would give Bhagvatam, oh, it was a scholarly presentation and many, many people would attend. And there was one lady, she would come and sit. She was Krishna Priya. She was daughter of Ganga Narayan Chakravarti. She was such a great devotee. Although she was sitting in the Bhagavatam class, she was so accustomed to chanting, she would keep on murmuring the names of the Lord. And this Rup Kaviraj, he became very offended. Oh, you're sitting in the class and you're not attentive? He chastised her. As a result of that, what happened? He became a ghost in his next life. So that's how pride is. One should be very careful. If one is not careful, after coming to Krishna consciousness, one may develop skills. And because of the skills, one may develop ahankar, that I have all these skills. People are bowing down in front of me. And one starts estimating his greatness based on his material skills. Because those skills, they attract followers and they inflate the ego balloon, and he offends another personalities, other devotees. And then he falls down. So that's how a devotee is naturally humble because he understands that nothing is mine. Humility is actually honesty. We are honest, nothing belongs to me. In fact, Vamanadev tells in the 8th canto, Janma karma vayo rupa vidya aishwarya dhanadibi yadi asya na bhavet stambha tatrayam madanugrahat. He says, if somebody has high birth, high good activities, youthful body, beautiful body, wealth, knowledge, still he is humble, please understand that he has received my mercy. Great souls, they are never proud. Prabhupada writes, the reception given to the king was full of opulence, yet he did not become proud. It is said that the great personalities of power and opulence never become proud. And the example is given that a tree which is full of fruits and flowers does not stand erect in pride, but instead bend downwards to show submissiveness. This is the sign of wonderful character of great personalities. Okay. Yes, Proji.
Prabhuji Dandapanam.
Yes,
Like
Dandapat.
that the Goswamis were so humble, means they were, the dainyata in them is so natural, and that's why Mahaprabhu is saying ki his heart is breaking with that kind of humility. So, but when we see our sadhakas, we always compare, we judge others, we feel better than others. That tendency of feeling better than others, not to the seniors, but sometimes we feel equals or those who are just calm like that, start judging and start feeling we are more superior, we are attending so many things. So that kind of tendency of a sadhaka, at what stage it will go, because at that kind of humility of Goswamis may not come in a sadhakas like us, definitely. But at least we should feel we are not greater than others. That kind of feeling is not coming. Whether you so, but what level we can think about that? Naturally, I'm saying, not artificially.
मुझे भी वही बोलने का मन कर रहा है, दैन्य छाड़ दैन्य तुम्हार फाटे मोर मन। आप तो कर रहे हैं वो सब। Anyways,
No, projects. I'm asking the guidance from you. Yeah.
तो आप बता सकते हैं, you all of you are practicing that, following these principles, at the same time very humbly asking a junior person how to be free of pride, and a junior person will tell also something out of his foolishness. So at what stage this pride will go and what stage will actually become humble, that is between a devotee and Krishna. What is in our hand? Our sincere endeavors. At least we should know that I have this problem. Worst situation is if we start thinking this is not my problem, this is my wealth. So at least we are aware that I need to transform, I need to get purified, and we are praying to the Lord for that. So in due course of time, Lord, seeing our sincere desire and endeavor, He will purify us. He will naturally, He will make us humble. This humility will come naturally. But the interesting part is a devotee, as I think Gaur Govind Maharaj would say, or some wonderful devotee, great senior devotee was saying, they would say that our mission always remains unaccomplished. None of the Goswami says that we achieved Krishna. He Radhe Brajadevike Chalalite He Nanda Suno Kutaha. Our mission is always unaccomplished. So this humility, the more a devotee advances, the more one feels I don't have devotion. But this humility of a great devotee and humility of a sadhaka, there is difference. The humility of a pure devotee enlivens him. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Ami to kamera dasa, Gopinath mama nivedana shuno, Vishay durjana sada kamerata, Ichhunahi mora guna. He is absorbed in devotional ecstasies, and these are the pourings of a heart which is full of devotion. And the result is, how we can see, they are actively practicing bhakti. They are experiencing the joy of bhakti. But a sadhaka, because he is not connected to Krishna, his fallen conditions makes him depressed, or he feels insecure, he becomes fearful. So that is the stage of a sadhaka. But a pure devotee or advanced devotee, he is happy because he has relation with the Lord. What we have to do is, we can just pray sincerely, and then whatever Krishna desires, our focus should be, my service should never go away. Whatever I am doing, I should be able to serve better in right consciousness. always conscious of Krishna while I am doing my services. Otherwise, if I am not conscious of Krishna in my services, we will not advance sufficiently. And as this Keshav Maharaj, S.B. Keshav Maharaj, he was telling in one of his clips, one devotee told him, "It is nice that you are absorbed in your services, but do you know that it is also a service to be absorbed?" You know? So we are doing so many services, but to the extent we are purified, we will be absorbed also while doing our services. Then whatever we may be, that doesn't matter. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sixth verse, translation.
Both the important citizens and the common citizens welcomed the king very heartily, and he also bestowed upon them their desired blessings.
So he also reciprocated. The king was approachable. So they gave benedictions, they welcomed him, and king bestowed his blessings. Next verse.
King Prithu was greater than the greatest soul and was therefore worshipable by everyone. He performed many glorious activities in ruling over the surface of the world and was always magnanimous. After achieving such great success and a reputation which spread throughout the universe, he at least obtained the lotus feet of the Supreme Person of Godhead.
Okay, he at last attained the lotus feet of the Lord. So that's how Maitreya Muni, he practically concluded the discussion of Prithu Maharaj. But Vidurji, he was not satisfied. He asked few more questions in the next series of verses. Prabhupada writes in the purport, responsible king or chief executive has many responsible duties to attend to, and the most important duty of a monarch is to perform sacrifices as enjoined in scriptures. Prithu Maharaj was performing various types of sacrifices also. It is the next duty of the king is to see that every citizen executes the prescribed duties. It is king's duty to see that everyone perfectly executes the duties according to Varnashram. Besides this, he must develop the earth for greatest possible production of food grains. So Prabhupada in these purports, he gives many of the duties of a great ideal king. How he should maintain the citizens, how he should take tax, how he should maintain Varnashram. So all these are described. Okay. So this is the end of this section. Now Suta Goswami, he takes over the discussion and he is speaking something. So I'll stop here. We'll continue next time. And I'll put the question paper on the group. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.